Today I want to tell you about a friend of mine. I'm going to tell you about a friend that we met last time I preached. Last time I preached, we met a friend named Basil. Now, Basil is a branch, and last time Basil got planted into a beautiful grapevine. But before we get into that story, I want to ask you, does anyone here know the fruit of the Spirit? You ever heard the fruit of the Spirit song, yeah? Do you know what the fruit of the Spirit are? So there I heard love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Are any of those easy for you? Yeah, any of those easy for you? Are any of those really hard for you? Which one is really hard for you? You don't know? Anyone find self-control really hard? Anyone find patience really hard? To have to wait a long time for something? How about mums and dads and grandmas and grandpas and everyone else? Who finds patience really easy? Anyone find patience really hard? A few of us find patience really hard. That's good. All right, let's get into the story now. So once upon a time there was a beautiful grapevine, and on that vine lived a branch named Basil. One day, Basil started thinking, here I am on a grapevine, but look at me, there's no grapes. Now, are grapevines meant to grow grapes? Yeah? All right. So Basil took a deep breath. Come on, take a deep breath. He wiggled his shoulders up and down. He focused all his energy on the end of his stalk, and he strained with all his might. And he went, He opened his eyes. He looked down at the end of his stalk, and what do you think he saw? Nothing. But Basil was not one to let things get him down. Obviously, I didn't try hard enough. If I try harder, if I work longer, I'll produce a bunch of grapes. So it took 2 deep breaths. Can you take 2 deep breaths? He wriggled his shoulders. He focused all his energy on the end of his stalk, and he went, puff, puff, puff. He opened his eyes. He looked down at the end of his stalk, and what do you think he saw? Nothing. Basil refused to let things get him down. He said, obviously, I still didn't try hard enough. If I work longer, I'll produce a bunch of grapes. So he took 3 deep breaths this time and went, and he wiggled his shoulders. And he wiggled your shoulders. He clenched his teeth and he focused on the end of his stalk and strained with all his might. And he went, puff, He opened up his eyes. What do you think he saw? Still nothing. Obviously, I still didn't try hard enough. I can't even make a sultana, let alone a grape. If only I'd worked longer, I might have produced a bunch of grapes. Hi, Basil, said a voice. Basil looked over his shoulder to see who was interrupting his moment of despair. Who are you? Asked Basil. I am the vine, said the vine, and you are the branch. You can't produce grapes on your own. Stop straining. Stop trying all by yourself and stick with me. So Basil took a deep breath, wiggled his shoulders. Do you reckon he worked all by himself this time? He focused on the vine. And when summer came, what do you think happened? He made a bunch of grapes. So boys and girls, what I want you to do from this story is remember what the secret was for Basil bearing fruit. What was the secret? He focused on the vine, not on himself. So just like that, as I go through my sermon today, as we go through a series, and as you go through every single day, when things get really hard, I want you to remember not to focus on yourself, but to focus on Jesus, who is your vine. Thank you for listening so well, boys and girls. You can head back to your seats.